Hello, everybody. This is Charles Anderson, and I'm just a guy from Goodall with a really great game idea. It is September 1st, 2013, a little bit later in the day. And caution! Here there be spoilers. So, if you don't want to know about this section of the game, probably skip to another video. But otherwise, I'm jumping back in on the Iteag Universe cast. Okay, so we've got, for the cast of The Good Guys, or the group that got more than a 3-hour tour of a time-space experiment facility. yeah, you get 2 old fogey points if you caught that reference. We've got Grahm, who's the professor archaeologist. He's the guy that his costume is going to be, he'll have glasses, the bushy white mustache, eyebrows, the college professor look when at home. Also, he'll have a Safario-type clothes when on an expedition, doing his archaeologist shtick. His background was exploring some ancient ruins with Pro, another character, and managed to excavate past a sealed door. Found amazing devices lined up around a room, along with glyphs and reliefs. Beeping sound goes off, spotlight shines onto the items and a picture. He nods, picks them up, decides to contact Doc, another character out of the cast, to collect more of these items, and then he heads back home to see what they do. His shtick is he speaks with an Austrian accent, nods to Einstein, hands out the old school games, usually talks of the good old days, well, for everything. Assists the player by archiving information, maps, giving out tips for solving plot lines, and the safe is at his house near a huge tower. The safe being the safe that whenever you, the player, decide to, put your inventory into this safe, then even if you start over a new game, whatever is in this safe and can fit in this safe will be there for the start of the next game. So levels get reset. Even then, who knows? Levels may be exported into some type of content and then stored into the safe so you can just restore some of your levels. Not all of your levels, but some. Gotta have some level up fun there. All right, so that's Grahm. And then we have Pro, the ex-adventurer, and he's one of the big characters in this one because his costume, cowboy hat. He's going to have a bandolier of golden grenade-looking things with a pouch attached to at the side. And his background is he's already beat everything. He thought he would try being an NPC for a while. Has only been beaten once by some guy named Chuck. It involved a roundhouse kick. Very fuzzy memories about the whole thing afterwards. Trixie, another character in the cast, helped him get back on his feet and running again. His shtick is that he is the quintessential game breaker NPC. I'll go into that in detail later. He hands out action adventure modes because Grahm here, he hands out the old school game modes. And so, you're going to have a lot of nods to the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, the pixelated for those folks who love the pixel art. And then here for Pro, it's just going to be the action adventure. Hey, you're gonna have some really wild action with his modes. He very casually flicks aside monsters that would make the player groan at trying to beat. He's always found at his house and at random scripted points in the game, possibly at the same time, and has a pet named Fluffy. Yeah, Fluffy. Yeah. If asked for help, he'll put up a map marker for where you need to go. And of course, if you ask him for help again, he'll just probably beat it, ruin the whole story for you, and then that's an ending in and of itself, which is I couldn't beat it, and yeah, Pro did. So next up, Doc, the scientist. You got to have some guy who's able to hand out the cool inventions, the gadgets, the gizmos. We're going to give him white hair fronds, sort of like the hairstyle in Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons, but they're going to be smaller. You got to have kind of like some mad scientist type hair fronds. Going to have a 50 style. Short lab coat. Going to have a very Futurama-ish type feel for that because Futurama did that whole the 50s sci-fi thing. But anyway, it's going to be a short lab coat, probably short sleeve. His background: he works on creating gadgets and gizmos in his laboratory. He's able to adapt new technologies to various purposes rather quickly, though they sometimes have unfortunate side effects due to his lack of understanding what a bad side effect would be. Yeah, that's some fun right there. Some people might consider him a mad scientist, but he would be quick to disagree, as that he has only ever been mildly annoyed at any point in time. He is currently sorting through fascinating bits of technology found in some ruins. Yes, so Grahm contacts Doc, and he gets in on the weird bits of technology that's left behind by this ancient civilization. His shtick, he's the absent-minded professor type NPC. He'll hand out, the casual puzzle game modes and some of the navigation modes that involve, like motorbikes and jet cars and stuff like that. But mostly for the battle modes, it's going to be the puzzle games like the Match 3 or the chain matching or popping or that type thing. He has a robot assistant, and that robot assistant will be where the player will craft items from materials the player may come across. Read new item creation. So, yeah, for leveling up items and getting higher level items as the player levels up, of course, they'll come across rare materials that can be crafted into new stuff via this robot assistant at the lab. So, he usually has the right item for the job if the player needs help getting through difficult terrain, aka part of the plot line. Maybe there'll be a certain type of cat. I better pause it for just a moment. Pause. Oh yes, the beauty of pause. Okay, so we've got so as part of the plot line, yes, there'll be certain landscapes that will need to have like a hover car or the good old airship or airplane or helicopter, whatnot. And he also runs a gear shop, so armor, weapons, stuff like that. Of course, he'll have some invented stuff. Next up, Trixie. She's going to be the vixen. Oh yes, the cuteness. Her costume will be a blonde hairstyle, red dress. Her background, she runs an Old West style saloon where folks can kick up their heels for a spell. She always has ice cold sarsaparilla on top and has a dim view of them's what can't hold their red eye. Food is done up proper as good victuals should be, and if you need some friendly advice, well, shucks, hun, you come to the right place. She's helped Pro get back up and running after a run-in with some cuss named Chuck. Since then, Pro helps out by keeping her ornery customers in line and by running a gear shop inside. So, she's just someone that helped Pro out, and she's got her own place, and it's a rest area. So the shtick is, she's going to be one of those good old whiskey voice, old West style bantered types. She'll hand out simple card, dice, odds themed game modes. For one of my joke game modes, it's going to be like extreme rock paper scissors, which how extreme can you make rock paper scissors? Well, we're gonna just have fun making fun of that. Anyway, she runs the Storm Sanctuary Saloon, where the player can purchase, restock items, sleep for the night, whatnot. And one of her things she will always be flirting outrageously with Pro. So that's just part of that fun. Okay, now I might be running out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Next up will be Huntin' Helen and Onwards for the group of the good guys. Derp, derp.